Today I am going to make a whole pile of meatballs, and in order to do that you do it when the meat is fresh, not frozen, because I'm going to freeze them. So I'm going to make them, prepare them, completely freeze them, and then vacuum seal so that I only pull out what I need when I need it for a meal. But I don't have to go through the prep phase over and over and over again every time. It's just a way to save time, and I don't do it all the time, but he seems to be wanting meatballs and pasta lately quite a bit, so I think I want to just spare myself the grief of making it separately every night, just a few meatballs. So today I'm making a huge batch, and I think I'm going to take up a batch of homemade meatballs and homemade pasta to the couple who allowed me to garden on their farm. So yeah, having that ready, and the day that I decide to go up there, just make a fresh sauce would certainly make it a whole lot easier for me. Okay, so here we go. Okay, what I've done is I've mixed together 3 pounds of ground pork. You could use, let me turn that off. I've got 3 pounds of ground pork. You can use ground beef. You could use a mixture of beef and pork, or you can use any other meat that you prefer. But today I'm using ground pork. I have put 1 very large onion in this 3 pounds of meat. You can use 2 medium-sized onions, 1 large one, and I've used a red onion because I don't have any white onions. As long as it's finely chopped, you're fine. And 3 eggs, so approximately 1 egg per pound of meat. And I've put it in the mixer just to make my life a little bit easier. It's a lot of meat to be mixing by hand, and it's going to be enough just to make the meatballs. So I'm going to mix this up for a few more minutes, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, now for my dry ingredients. At least a cup of breadcrumbs. Now you know why I buy all those breadcrumbs. That looks like it's enough. I have a second jar just in case I needed more, but I finished the one, which is great. Lots of parsley. 2 to 3 tablespoons of parsley is not too much. I have no issue with using lots of parsley here. 1 more. Bit more anyway. Some garlic powder. Now you can also, you can also use fresh garlic if you want, but I've decided to use the garlic powder, and we'll clean that up later. And some salt, of course. I'd say at least 1 to 2 tablespoons of salt for all this meat. Okay, so I've mixed up all my dry ingredients. That should make it easier to blend it in. And I will turn on my mixer and slowly mix this in as well. I think I do need a few more breadcrumbs because that is way too soft. Okay, let me just wash my hands again. And I've been doing this for so long, I do just do it by feel more than... I mean, I've been making meatballs since I was 10 years old. So probably put another ½ cup in there. Okay, that looks like it's firm enough to be able to form meatballs. So I'm just going to tidy up this table and get back to you. Okay, so as I said, I plan to freeze these meatballs, so I'm going to lay them on a plastic cutting board, single layer, and then cover them with cellophane to put them in the freezer. Once they're frozen, I'm going to pull them out, vacuum pack the meatballs, vacuum seal them frozen so that when I want them, I will just take out the quantity that I want to use and re-vacuum seal the bag. So this is the process, and yes, they're coming together quite nicely. The texture is right. Now I form these, I don't know, one large spoonful, one dinner spoonful size, a little larger perhaps. So I've got 5 across there. Don't like them too big. And you can make them whatever size you're comfortable with. Like some people like them smaller and more, and other people like them larger. I prefer them just sort of a medium size, not big, not small. Okay, we'll get back to you when this is all done. Okay, so far I have made about 35 meatballs. I probably have another 15 to 20 to make, and get back to you in a few minutes. Okay, so that 3 pounds of meat has made actually 40 meatballs, and I have placed them, as I said, on these plastic cutting boards because I want to put them in the fridge to freeze. And I've separated them, given them about as much airspace as I possibly can all around each one so that they'll freeze better. So I'm just going to quickly add some cellophane wrap over them before I put them in the freezer. Now once these are frozen, I will pull them out and vacuum seal the whole lot so that they can be just pulled out as I need them. So now the other thing is, if you were going to can these, which is something that I have done in the past, you do not put breadcrumbs and you do not put eggs. So apparently you cannot can things like breadcrumbs and rice successfully. And I did do it one time without realizing, and the first few tasted fine, but the last couple of jars tasted off like there was something wrong with them. So I learned then that you cannot can breadcrumbs. So won't do that again. Okay, so these are ready to go in the freezer, and when they are frozen I will be pulling them out and vacuum sealing them.